I'll follow you. Oh,
We should
sorry.
be all right now, I think.
Okay.
That's okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my new show, Out of Nowhere. Well, what a fabulous guest I have on my show today. Her name is Connie Willis. Connie has been one of the most enthusiastic guest hosts on Coast to Coast since 2014 and is a professional national radio television broadcaster of 25 years. Can we
Oh,
please welcome Connie to the show? Hello there.
yay. Put your hands together. The crowd roars. How you doing, Bob?
I'm
Thank
doing
you.
great.
Thank you.
For the people out there, who is Connie Willis?
Well, we don't even care about those people, right? Where have they been? They've been under a rock. No, no. Let's see. I'm a broadcaster. I've always known since I was little I wanted to be in TV and films and I never really thought about radio actually, but I wanted to be in TV and films and I got my alarm going off telling me to go, "Get ready for the Bobby Brown show." Let me just totally cut this off. But I never thought about radio. I knew it was going to be TV and film, but I didn't know in what aspect. Everybody would call me movie star when I was a kid. That was my nickname. And even though I
Mm,
did do some film stuff and acting and improv and television, the most fun of all really is radio because you can have so much fun, which then, of course, turns into internet shows like I do now on Blue Rock Talk. And so it's great to be on Coast to Coast AM because it's got the perfect content. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite to talk about the things unknown because I've been searching that myself, and it's been finding me too, Bob. Ever since I was little, it finds you. You don't
yeah, I can
really have to
imagine
go
so.
looking for it, right? Yeah, you don't. It'll come to you, and
Correct.
but radio's great. The internet now that we can do so much other stuff. So my show's Blue Rock Talk and Connie After Dark, and now I'm selling chocolate. I can't believe it. I got creepy collectibles, Bigfoot chocolate bars. I'm like, this is great. So I'm happy about all that.
I
And now I
like
get to
that.
be on your show. Thanks so much. It's not just Paul
You
Sinclair out there
do.
that likes me. Now I got you. So that's great. I want to come to your
So
area.
you,
It's spooky.
it is spooky.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll talk about that a bit later. Tell us about your earliest sighting when you were about 3 years old.
Oh, the let's see. Um, I'm trying to figure out which. Okay, let's see. Most people would say it was at the even before that, but I believe it was 3 years old. Wow, we're cutting right to the chase. Good for you. Good for you. Um, so my very first thought was coming down from the sky, just flying down. Now I'm giving you the perspective of years later being able to look at it and describe it better. But the
Yeah,
perspective was me just coming down from the sky, just flying just at a speed of just amazing speed. And there was a white flowy thing here and a white flowy thing here, and they were guiding me down. And they were saying basically, you will always be. And they said other things like you're going to come out the other side, you're going to go through this, you'll be okay, you'll, you will always be. And that was the main message of all of it, and exact words too. And as I was going down, I was seeing from the perspective of a house. There was no roof, it was just looking down into the house. And the layout was exactly the first house that I ever lived in. And there was a little kid there with a stuffed animal. There was a father figure. There was other family members over in the kitchen area. There was this little hallway foyer, and I was basically, or that little kid was right there. And there was a living room, and it was the exact layout of our first home. And I basically, this is all I can say. I basically went straight down into that little kid. And I would say that I was about three. Maybe I was 2.5, but I think I was about three around that age. And I remember even afterwards putting my hand, looking out the back door, putting my hands on both sides of the doorway, looking out, realizing I'm in a body, I'm looking out. So I mean that it's interesting because basically what how I interpret it is something brought me down my soul and put me in this kid that was already there. And then I found myself in a body and was looking around as a human, which is absolutely crazy. But I've heard other people say
It's
something
crazy.
similar. Yeah. Isn't
Yeah,
that
I know when
amazing
I
though?
was a kid, it is amazing how things progress like that.
Hmm.
Do you think we are chosen sometimes to meet people on the other side or in the paranormal or Bigfoot?
You know, um, you know, tell me your thoughts on that. Let's hear your thoughts here. Let me get into your head a little bit. What'd you think of that story? Do you think that's a possibility? You
I
think
do. I think we're
that happens?
chosen. I think
Yeah.
many a time when I've been up on top of cliffs, we've been quite lucky, me and Paul. If I see something, he sees it. But we could be there could be four of us up there. Me and Paul can see something, but the other two can't. And we're
Yes.
both looking in this, we're all looking in the same direction.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it just makes you wonder if the certain few of us are chosen to see things.
Yeah. Let me throw something at you on that because,
And another thing is,
oh, go ahead.
you can
It's that delay
yeah,
across
go
the
on.
pond delay. That's all.
Yeah, I know it is. I know. Yeah, uh, yeah. It just makes you wonder about things like that. I've spoke about this before. Um, about seeing things and other people can't. I can, and and you go to a strange place sometimes where you can feel some energies around you, but other
Yeah.
people can't feel anything.
No. Some of
You
us.
must have come across that as well.
Yeah, I think it's that's where you and I would say, well, we're empathic. We can feel things. We can recognize those things. But why are we empathic and some people aren't, right? Why are we chosen to see things and others aren't? However, let me throw this at you because I found this to be interesting because I do agree. I think some of us hear and see and others do not. And I think it's possible that whatever these things that we do see along the way, they want only you and I to see them, and maybe some of the others no. However, there's also something else that we've kind of learned along the way. One of my friends told me first about this, and then I had later had to use it with someone else, and it worked. So, some friends of mine in Alabama. Are you familiar with the states? Are you familiar with Alabama?
Oh yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Very nice people, lots of Bigfoot. Lots of Bigfoot and friendly Southern hospitality Bigfoot. But, and they'll talk to you. That was my first experience ever. But they were telling me that they had recognized where the Bigfoot were in Alabama. They would see a lot of orbs, and they were soccer ball size orbs. Orbs are so many different sizes. It's got to mean something and different colors, right? So they believed
yeah.
that these soccer ball sized orbs were the Bigfoot and how they're traveling around. I agree. I don't know if every soccer ball sized one is, but it makes sense that it would be bigger than the little ones. I don't know, but this one guy would see them often. And another dude said, "Hey, I want to see them." So they went out one night to see if they would run across them. And they did. The guy said, "Look, there's one right there." And it was right in front of them, maybe I can't remember exactly, but it was very close up. And it was about, I guess, 4 foot off the ground. And it was right there in front of them on this pathway. And the other guy didn't see it. And he's like, "No, it's right there. It's right there in front of us. It's right there. How can you not see us on the trail?" And he didn't see it. And he was right next to him. He was 2 feet away from him, 1 foot away from him, and he couldn't see him, just like you and I were talking. However, the one dude grabbed him and pulled him and put him in his eye line, his eye sign, his eye line,
Right.
and he saw it. He saw it. He was right next to him and he didn't see it, and he was really close and he didn't see it, but then he put him to his eye line and he saw it. So that is interesting. So next time that happens, test that. See if you can pull them right into your eye line and see if that makes a difference, because then we're seeing some sort of shield, right? Of some sort. And maybe they're just looking at you, and maybe they're just looking at Paul and they don't care about them because of something else, right? I did it with one of my friends, Dennis Foll, here. I was seeing this like transponder thing. He didn't see it. Now, here's the reason he didn't see it. We were looking through a cab window of a truck. And I'm telling you, people said it was like a transponder in Star Trek. I didn't remember all
Yeah.
those things, but it wasn't a bunch of sparkles moving around. It wasn't any creature. It was like a wall, and it had levels of lights going in and out. So it really was something really strange. Some people say portal, transponder, where things are coming in and out kind of thing. But the reason that Dennis didn't see it at first, but then he did, because I remembered, put him in your eye line. He was looking out the driver's window, which has different filters than the front of a window of a vehicle. So, so you won't get sunburn and things like that. They do special things so your arm it doesn't get too much sun kind of thing. At least that's what
Yeah.
I think they do. But he couldn't see out of the filters. So filters make a difference too. And these windows we're looking out of. So, I think we need to make some special glasses. But when I pulled him into that eye line, he saw it. So let me know how that works in the future, Bob, if you guys do that. Now, I think we're delayed, but you might be frozen.
Back on in a minute.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I know we've got a bit of strange weather at the moment over here. You're saying that, and we get many people who want to come to Benton to see me and Paul from all over the UK. One lad that wanted to come and see us, he'd never seen these orange lights in his life. So there were
Mm.
me, Paul, and Jason. We walked down, went to the bird platform, and he just said, "Is there no orange lights in the sky?" And I thought, they've shown
Yes.
for him. And then I think in a 20-minute spell, we saw 13 orange lights appear, and they both got them on camera. And I said to Jason, once in a million is that. We could come up for 6 months and never see anything. You're here today. They're showing for you.
Oh, I love it. I agree.
And yeah.
They
And he
must have
went,
liked him, Bob, because
something.
they have to like you, right? You've recognized that,
Yes.
right? They have to like you. If you're a jerk, if you're
And
out to
then,
get them, if you're out to try to be conniving, forget it, right? Just forget
and
it.
in 20 minutes, when it finished, that were it. We're there for another 2.5 hours, never saw another thing. That were it. Highlight of the night. And that
Typical.
was that was walking down to the platform, and it started straight away. So about, I don't know, 7:10 till 7:30, and then it went off.
That's amazing. I love it. That continuously reinforces what we think about that. If they like you, they're going to come, they're going to show off, they're going to have fun with you. If not, it's you're going to hear crickets, and that's it.
What I was going to
You
ask
know,
you about is, go on.
no, I was just going to say you guys are brave to be off the by that cliff area. What's it called again? That area with, I mean, it just like goes straight
It's
down
a
into
bird
like death.
sanctuary. It's a bird sanctuary at Benton, and they're about 300 foot deep, or up to
Oh,
400. We've been up there when it's been -6 at night, and I mean
oh.
it's been cold. We were
Well,
there
good. You
one
guys,
morning
you'll be
at
ready when you come to
4
Colorado.
we
You'll
were
be
there at four
ready.
o'clock 4 o'clock one morning,
Oh,
and I mean it was crunching. he had a walk away. He said, I'm going to have a walk up there. I said, Paul, do not go missing, please. I don't want to go back to Mary and said, you've gone. And I could see him walking up, and I could hear him crunching and crunching and crunching and crunching. And he got back to me, and I went, thank God you're here. But,
You all must
it's
have fun
amazing.
together.
Oh, it's great. It's great life up there. Absolutely wonderful life. You never know what's going to happen from one minute to another.
Yeah, I know. Oh, by the way, your accent and Paul's accent obviously the same. It's funny because whenever, I have a lot of English British guys show up on the shows, and but it's funny because usually I get comments about your all's accent more than any because they say they must live where the Beatles live because they sound more like the Beatles than anybody ever. So
Yeah.
that was a compliment. So is that because that's around that area?
And I live in the same house as Paul. It's
Yeah.
his house, and I
Oh,
live in the top flat.
oh, well, that's no, I do know this now. So, okay. All right. I think there needs to be a Connie room. What do you think? Does there need to be a Connie room up there somewhere?
Well, this is lots of happened. When I'm sat now,
I
loads of
just
strange things has happened in this room.
I want to just have a place so I can be close by cuz it's scary there. That's all. That's all.
There's
So
voices come out. Yeah, go on.
do you, do you believe they follow you home?
Well, I always protect myself when I go to Bempton to make sure we don't fetch anything back. I know one time we were up there with Paul's daughter, and I think she was attached to something what she brought back downstairs in his flat,
Oh.
and it was growling at night time. Paul and Mary had gone to bed, and
Oh.
she was watching TV and kept hearing a sound at back of her, like a growling sound. Strange, isn't it? And
It's
and
scary.
we
People have
didn't
no
know until
idea.
he woke up in the morning and said, "Dad, I heard this thing last night." He's had aliens downstairs and aliens up here as well, and they're all over this house.
Understood.
But the house originally, when Paul bought it, an old lady had lived in it. He didn't realise until later, but I think she was a psychic medium, and she had all these letters, and Paul burnt them. He didn't realise, I didn't realise until later. I thought, oh my God, there could have been something in them letters
Yes. Yes.
about
Man,
the house.
he could have probably learned a lot from those letters, but and also even make like a book out of them or something. I mean, that could have been pretty interesting with that. That could have been something
Oh,
special.
true, yeah. I want to talk about Bob Gibling's Bigfoot footage.
Okay.
You know, I know it's real.
Yeah, I
A
know
lot
it's
of
real.
people out there, it's still going out there. And what did you think about it?
Absolutely real. Absolutely. I don't excuse me, I don't have any qualms at all. I believe it's absolutely real. I find it interesting that it just keeps walking. They have their own personality, each one of them. They have their own behaviors, their own personality. She didn't look like she was all that happy that they came up, but she wasn't going to come over and say hi and shake their hands. She just was walking away and looking back and doing her thing. And that's where I think you can see them sometimes because they're just doing their thing. They're just out there, whatever it is they're doing. I don't think they live on the land, Bob. I think they're too intelligent to live in the elements and on the surface. We're the surface people, right? They're not. I'm not sure. I can't tell you where they are, but I think there's an
Do you think
entire world in the planet.
they're,
I think there's an
do you think they're
entire world under us.
do you think they're interdimensional?
I don't even know if we know what they are. As in Interdimensional, yeah, I think they can probably do anything they want. And if you want to use that word, okay. And can they cloak? Okay. Can they just disappear? Okay. I think they
Yeah.
can do anything and things we can't even think of. They're amazing. They're there 1 second, then they're not. You can see them and then no, you can feel them right next to you. You can hear them breathing and then they're gone and there's not a sound. How do they do what they do? They're not us. We might be a part of them, but and we don't know what they are, but they know who we are. Those are my thoughts. Those are my
Didn't you
thoughts, and I think
interview? Have you interviewed
many
Bob then?
variations of them. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
did you
Yeah.
interview Bob? What did he have to say then? He's a
Uh,
quiet man, wasn't he?
yeah. You know what? It's funny that you say that because I was told that he usually talks about 5 minutes if you're lucky on stage, and he's very quiet and I did see him up on stage at one point, and it was, it's all about Bob when he's there, right? It's all about Mr. Gimlin. He's the best, and he's a ladies' man, is he not? He is a ladies' man. He is all, he shows off his little cowboy look, and he's the sweetest guy in the world. But he did go up on stage and he was on for about 5 minutes and he talked just about as low as this and stood up there and then he went back and sat back on stage. But I had him on maybe a week or so previously on Coast to Coast, and I was told he's only going to talk about 5 minutes. That's all you're going to get. Well, I had him on for 3.5 hours. I was going to have him on longer. I just felt bad for the guy that I needed to bring up that was waiting. I should have just put him on another show. But Bob and I had a ball. We just gabbed away and had a good time. So he told me so many things and went into detail and it was nice. And he even sat through all those commercials, that you have to sit through in radio. But he was great. We had a ball. And you know what? There's certain people he just can talk away with, right? Just it's that
Yeah.
Southern thing, I think. But we just had a good time. And I'm so glad to have been able to. I know now he's still doing things. He was just recently at an event, and so he's still running around a little bit. He's like in his 90s now.
Oh my God, he's doing well then.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Did he have any more sightings then, Bob? Did he talk about any more sightings they had?
I don't remember if he's actually seen anything again or not. I can't answer that. I think a lot of times, there's a lot of times you just hear things, right?
Yeah.
You know they're around, you can feel them, you can hear them. They push freaking trees down, which are amazing, but then you don't see the tree, right? I've heard trees go down, and they are the most crazy sound in the world to hear a tree go down in the forest, right? And break in all the other trees along the way and all the branches. But I've never seen the tree so far. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, sometimes you just hear sounds, right? you and
Yeah.
you can't explain them, and then there's no destruction around you, so that's kind of funky. But but I don't know if he's seen anything again. I don't know. I think he went out along the way, but I don't know. I think sometimes you get caught up in all the stories of it and telling people, and you think you're doing a good thing, and then you just get tied up on all that political stuff, and it kind of kills it. I like to keep researching and learning more. And you all are the same way. In fact,
Exactly. Oh, I
you
do.
g-
Yeah.
yeah, you guys are very much, that's where like Paul and I hit it off because we're very much the same. We just want to go out there and research and feel it and be a part of it, and then we'll tell what we can tell.
Exactly. I know you've been on Bigfoot hunts. What's it like to go on one?
On what?
On a Bigfoot hunt
Oh,
out for the week?
hunt. Oh, that's
Yeah.
that accent coming out. So we put an H in front of it. I'm just kidding you. I am just going to bust on you because I am English, by the way. You're not? You all are you? Are you actually English or whale or what are you? What?
No, I'm I'm a Yorkshire lad.
Oh my.
Yorkshire
What?
born and bred
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey,
from
well,
Yorkshire. It's
I
the
got a
biggest town.
Yorkie. I got a
It's the
Yorkie over here. Is he related?
well, there you go. That's a plus. It's the biggest county in England. Is Yorkshire?
Oh, okay. Okay. And that's where the pudding came from, right?
Yeah,
Right?
the Yorkshire pudding. Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. And that's where I learned about werewolves being dogman. That was actually with Paul because I was like,
Yes.
he's the one who said werewolf. And I went, oh, I never put the two together. That's excellent. I never, yeah, that's werewolf dogman. What was your question? So I do, so I have, besides being on Coast to Coast, I do a show called Blue Rock Talk, and that's Earth's most interesting conversations. Blue Rock is the Earth.
Yeah.
So I do that. There's another one where you can have a drink with me called Connie After Dark. But my biggest show that I love the most, that I have the most fun with, is called Project Creepy Hotspots. And that's my Bigfoot exhibition expeditions. We go for like 4 days, 3 nights somewhere. It could be Lee Hampel's Beast of Bray Dogman area up in Wisconsin. It could
Oh
be,
yeah.
and I'm hoping to go to Alabama where the I had my first experience with Bigfoot and they talked to me. But I like going up in the Rockies. We do hauntings as well because it all fits together. It all fits together, right? It they all have orbs, they all have communication, they all have different things and intelligence and things going on. But I really love going up to the Rockies in a special area there. And there's a ton of areas here, but it's I'll live stream from it. It's a paid expedition. People can go virtually, and I'm still hoping to do one this December. But man, it is so freaking cold already up to the 5,000, 10,000 feet
I
area.
can imagine. So
It's
yeah.
freezing. Yeah, and you're like, well, I don't want to be outside. Maybe they don't want to be outside either. But it's amazing when it's you guys already know this. It's about a relationship. If they like you, they know you're coming. They know they look forward to you showing up. They will give you a hello, a goodbye, we're here. They'll push you. They'll put handprints on your vehicle. They'll hang out. They'll whistle. They'll hang out and stare at you, whatever. And you get that communication. Now, in the area I'm at that I like to go to, it's not just Bigfoot. We've seen what thought were Bigfoot, but then they had dogman ears. And then there's like alien stuff going on. There's lights in the sky beaming down on you. There's being taken and you know it. There's manipulation. There's different creatures that I've never seen and can explain. They will push you. They will knock down lights. We have something called Larry the Light Man. I was shooting my iPad out of the back of this truck camper van. I think it was a camper van that night, or it was a truck camper. And it was so it was an iPad on the back window, and I believe because of the filters. I'm sorry, I was doing a live stream with my iPhone, and I believe going through just like you use StreamYard.
Yeah.
I was using something called Crowdcast, and I think because I was using that going through the window, I could watch the show live as I was streaming, but when I looked at it through the window myself, not through this camera as I was shooting it, I could see it through this camera. I couldn't see it through the window itself. So whatever filters within the phone against the window allowed me to see this light looking at the things that I put outside. I put these like solar lights outside so that we can have something in the pitch black of the mountains to see if something walks by it. Kind of like a ghost trick. The ghost people use that. I snagged it from their ideas. So, and myself and Erica Stover, who was with us, our Blue Rock cop, she's a cop, so she's really good with observing things, right? So she saw the video and she goes, these things must be around us all the time. We just can't see them, you know? 'Cause we just can't see them. We don't have the filters. We don't have, were we born with or without the correct filters? Is that why some of us see things and some of us don't? I mean, it gets crazy, but you got to recognize those little tiny things, right?
Oh, of course you have, yeah. I know there's been a few sightings of black panthers recently around the North Yorkshire area.
Interesting.
But in 2017, on our way back from Benton one night, I think it was October 20 summer 2017, we were too busy talking about to each other, and one came right in front of the car and into the bush. We must have missed it by 10 seconds.
Oh,
And the
oh.
point about seeing it is Paul didn't have a camera on his car. It's quite an old car, unfortunately. We would have had a beautiful picture of it going across the road.
Though, you got to wonder, because I bet you can back me up on this. You got to wonder, would you have gotten it or not, or would you have seen it or not? Because now I can't say this with the panther, so you probably would have gotten it. But if that was a Bigfoot, it would have just walked anywhere else in it could instead of in front of that camera, right? so,
Yes, more
so
than likely.
right, yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's just the Bigfoot that does not want to be on camera. It seems like others don't care, or the UFO aliens will just cut it off. They just cut
Yeah,
it
well,
off
yeah.
or
We
erase
weren't
it.
expecting to see anything in the road. We're just chatting to each other. We didn't have his camera or we didn't have his phone in his hand. Usual carry on. Too
Yeah.
busy talking about what we'd seen at Benton, having a nice, peaceful little jaunt back home, and it comes right in front of the car.
That's so
And I
cool.
thought, typical. And I gets out at car and looks in bush. I don't know why. I thought, God, what am I doing?
You know what though? You got to see it, so that's cool though. You have the memory.
Yeah,
You
oh,
have
yeah,
it.
I've got a great memory for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. There's some people that have seen Black Panther
The
here as
stargazer
well.
in the yeah, the stargazer in the chat room. Connie, what's your most puzzling mystery?
Um, hmm. It might just be one that's my own, which is, and I think we're on the brink of getting these answers, but I don't know. I mean, just thinking off the top of my head, real quick, the one thing that bothers me the most is the most puzzling is why do we have to grow old and die? Why is that? I kind of like the movies. I don't want to just go to 29 or 30 years old. What was it? Logan's Run was the movie where at 29 or 30 you
Oh yeah,
die.
Logan's Run.
Yeah, right. But you're healthy when it happens. Even Soylent Green, you picked the time that you were going to go, and you would be in the room with the color you like and seeing the video as you go down. But I wish that as we got older, we didn't age, but we got better and healthier because we get wiser. I wish there wasn't an ending to this. However, and especially because we lose people in our life that we want to be with, right? We're the ones that hurt.
Yeah.
They're the ones on the other side going, I'm okay. This is great. I'll see you soon, right? But it's still very tough because we're living on this like prison planet of time. But I also think we bought that ticket, right? And said, hey, I got a ticket to ride on planet Earth. So let me take it. But I wish we had more of an understanding to say, okay, I'm going to see you in like 12 years, or something. I wish it wasn't such a puzzle like that. I do believe we absolutely go on. There's no question about that. I'm not afraid of that myself.
No,
But
no.
there's so many other people that are just so afraid of dying and thinking that there's no more and this is it. But
Oh no, I
yeah,
can't. What am I? I'm 77 now.
no. Well, you
Waiting for
Yorkies, you age well.
I'll tell you about that. The most puzzling mystery. Mine was I was up there with Paul, his daughter, Mick Ganley, and taking photos. I take photos all the time around because you never know what you can pick up. And I just said to Paul, "What's that bird up there?" He said, "I think it's a buzzard." And then when I looked at the side of the hill, there was a black object outside of the hill. So I thought, "Oh, I'll take a photo of that." Click. I went and had a look here, and I thought, looked again, it had gone, vanished. The object had vanished on side of the hill. So Paul said, "Let me have a look." I went, "Look there, it's gone." "What was it?" I said, "I've no idea." I said, "Look at that." So we blew it up a little bit, and he went, "No idea what it is, but I'm going over there now." So he was about 300 meters away. So he went to, well, nearly ran over to get over the hill. I said, "Stop there." He came out and went, "Nothing there. Don't know what it is." So I don't know if something opened up, like a portal had opened up when I
Right.
just took that photo. Incredible.
Right.
And it vanished just like that.
Isn't that something? I don't I there's some people that talked about like a portal and they saw a cyclops come through. So like a lot of these thoughts, these TV shows from years ago, right? There's a cyclops, there's this, there's that. Maybe those are all based on something really seen because people literally see those and and it just goes back to the portal of what you're talking about. And there's some people that actually believe they, got
It it
shots
it
with the
it,
portal.
it looks like something's bent over.
Wow. I want to see it. You got it? Can you show it?
Connie. But with it being on farmers' land, you've got to be
Oh,
careful
man.
going back again. So we haven't
Yeah,
really, after all them years, we haven't actually gone back to
it's
see
true.
to try and see how big it was.
Do,
Difficult
are,
sometimes.
are you allowed to go on the property or do they know what y'all are up to or
Well, the farmers, some of the farmers up there, because they don't like what Paul writes in his books, because
they don't like the
it's
truth?
on top of the cliffs. It's well, that's true because Bempton's a small village,
Mm.
and there's lots gone in that village over the years. I think they've been involved with something in the years at the RAF Bempton when lots of strange things were happening in the tunnels below. So
Oh.
they, as soon as you mention Paul's name, don't like it,
Little Paul, he's like one of the sweetest
unfortunately.
men in the
They,
world.
anybody,
Isn't that
I
something?
know he is. I know he is. He's a great guy and a great researcher, but you just got to be careful when you go to
Yeah.
places like that. On top of the cliffs, there's a public right of way, so the bird watchers can walk on that path. But after
Uh,
that, it's fields where one farmer might own that field and another farmer might own that field. So you got to be careful going on their land.
right, right. Well, let's just hope. I'm hoping, in fact, that's one of the reasons why I'm selling chocolate, a line of chocolates, and I have paid membership shows. Is it continues to allow me to research and take you with me virtually, but the chocolates are in hopes to do really, really well in a financial way in order to have what I call my Blue Rock Chateau, which will be a ranch, a mountain home with land in the locations where the activity happens so that we don't have to worry about somebody else getting upset with us being on their land, but also create little neat little huts for researchers to come in, like for you to fly in and you would have your own little neat little hut out there. So you don't have to be in my house walking around in your long johns and underwear, asking me for some eggs. You can make your own eggs in your own little hut. You can do your own little camping. You can do your own little research. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's why I've moved on to doing some, selling some creepy collectible Bigfoot chocolate bars. So people go to
That's
ConnieWillis.com and
what
help out with that.
we're back again. Yeah, that's what our idea was. If we could get in touch with a farmer up there who we likes.
Oh, poor you cutting in and out, being over there on the other side of the world. I'll wait till you come back in, but I'll say hi to everybody in the live chat. Hey, I'm gonna give you a thumbs up while we wait, Bob. Are you back?
We're back
Okay. I love the name of your show,
again.
Out of Nowhere Radio. I love it. I love it. Great, great name.
No strange weather patterns.
Or so ZT trying to interfere. I know how that is.
Yes. Um, Connie, oh yeah, this the sober carper in the chat room. He said, "Connie, what's your thoughts on dogmen then?"
On Dogman. So Sober Carper? Is that the name? Is that who that is?
Yeah,
Um, I like that. I like that. I have seen what looks
yeah,
to
sober
be a
carper.
Dogman. Yeah, I've seen what looks to be Dogman several times actually, and seen some pictures from some of my friends too in some of the areas I've been, and it feels like it's a whole different feeling. They feel different to me. Now I have friends that say they are higher up than the Bigfoot hierarchy, and they're wise and they're the Anubis, and all that kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, that's what they say and how it comes across to them. I don't have that myself. I don't know. I just know I've come across a few. I know really good sources that have great pictures. Cryptid 559, if you check him out here, he's got some great stuff. One of them, I think somebody else took the picture, but you wouldn't believe it. You would go, "Oh my goodness, that's an amazing picture." And he's actually seen them where they had Bermudas on and it was ripped up as if it was a man first and then went into this dog man werewolf thing. And it wasn't until talking with Paul where I got the werewolf part of it. And I'm going, oh my gosh, those must be what people would always call werewolf. So it's interesting about that. But I do believe they exist. And I'm not sure. There's an area, Lee Hample's Beast of Bray Road. You guys have probably heard of that when it comes to Dogman. He's got a special area
Yeah,
that
I
he
have.
has
Yeah,
set up. Yeah, he's got this area where when they walk by, you get the footprints. Because I've actually literally seen what people would say, no, I know that's a Bigfoot. But then when you see it, it has different ears. But we were like, okay, maybe there's different varieties and species, obviously, of the Bigfoot, because you can still get the Bigfoot prints, and they'd have different ears and different looks, and some of them look more like men. I mean, there's a whole variety of them, but when it does come to Dogman, I guess it really comes down to the feet, right? To say that is definitely a Dogman. So I think you can have some Bigfoot with some Dogman ears, but I guess you can have some Dogman with totally dog paws. They're just huge. But I think they're out there. I've seen some other things. I don't even know what the freak they are. I mean, I'm like, there's times I see new things all the time. Bob, there was a time when I saw what looked like two flying squirrels. You know how flying squirrels go, ah, they got this webbed area. Well, it
yeah,
looked
I do.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, so it looked like two of them with their arms up walking, webbed as well and holding hands. And they were about, 3 to 4 foot tall. And I couldn't believe it. I described it to people. People thought I was crazy and nuts. I'm just saying, look, this is what I saw. Okay. And then it was months later. someone in that area said, you know what, Connie, somebody else saw the same thing. They described it the same way. So I was happy to hear that. Two of us are crazy, I guess. But I mean, you've seen things you can't even put into the Bigfoot area, right? Or the Dogman area or the alien area.
Sometimes you can't believe what you see. Sometimes,
Yep. Yep. It's
yeah, I think we're back again.
it's
Yeah, I
pretty
can. I
freaky.
think a few years ago at Speeton, we saw Paul. Me and Paul saw a bird, and it must have had massive wings. We couldn't
Oh.
believe what we seen, but it was quite a fair way off, and we couldn't get his cameras out quick enough to get the photo of it. But it looked, God, it looked massive. Its wings were so big, it was unbelievable. I said to Paul, "Look at that!" I mean, my God, look at it! Look at the size of it.
Was it a
It looked like
thunderbird or a
prehistoric.
pterodactyl? Was it
And then by
pterodactyl?
the time we got our cameras out, it vanished.
Oh. So you missed it? You missed the shot? He, he's just across the pond. So you missed the shot?
Looked this looked, yeah, but
But you
this
know what? It
is
doesn't matter. You got to
totally
see it.
different from what we've seen before.
Mm. But I'm glad you got to see it. I have gotten to the point that okay, if I get a shot, it's probably by accident with me because I'd rather experience it myself without missing it by trying to get the camera out. Um, or showing the camera and then everything hides because some things know that's a camera and they don't want to be on it. I want to experience it and really develop the relationships with what allows me to develop a relationship with them so that I have the experience. And worst comes to worst, I'll tell you about the
Right.
experience. If I happen to catch it, great. Otherwise, let me tell you what just happened because I feel like if I get a better relationship, I'll have a better chance of getting an even better shot or I don't know, maybe and whatever else might come of it. But I love doing it. It's great. I just want to get back up in the mountains. You're so
Oh, I bet
far
you do.
away. Okay, there we go.
Tell us a little bit about
Oh,
remote
remote
viewing.
viewing. Yeah. Well, I've been lucky enough to study under Lori Williams and Lynn Buchanan. Lynn Buchanan was one of the psychic spies in Project Stargate back in the during the Cold War. He was kind of the database guy, so he really makes you work at saving all your work properly, which will drive you crazy because then it's almost like work when you have to do it. But I took Lynn Buchanan's classes. So 101 was by Lori Williams, who's absolutely fantastic. She's civilian, but she learned how to do it the military way, and she's amazing. She's kind of gone off on her own now, but her and Lynn are like the best of friends. And so she really started me off first, and then from there, Lynn's classes I took his. Let's see, there's beginning, medium, intermediate, then pro, or I can't remember all the names all the way up, but then different ones to teach you different tools. But you learn from the best. You learn exactly the military way, which is on paper and pencil. That's how you do it. When people tell you they're a remote viewer and they're not using the paper and pencil, they're using the new age form of saying they're a remote viewer and they are just being psychic more than anything. So, because really, remote viewing, and they've kind of made it controlled remote viewing. Lynn Buchanan added the word controlled so that it does stick with the military, because the military way keeps it controlled, keeps the pollution out, keeps the bias out. Because anybody that gives you anything from just them. There's a lot of bias in it. It's just the way it is. It's, it comes from your perspective of, well, I'm a Presbyterian, or I'm Catholic, or I'm Jewish, or I'm Buddhist. It all comes from those perspectives. But if you do it the CRV, the control remote viewing, the military way, it's going to come out as non-biased as possible. And that's what you want if somebody's viewing something, so you can get the actual truth of it. But let me tell you, we can all do it. This just teaches you more of a martial art of how to do it better, and how to, I mean, these people are amazing, Bob. These military guys, I can't believe what they can pick up. I can't believe they can pick up intentions of people and things. I can do all that. I don't study it every day or practice it every day. But if you do, you'll get better and better and better, and you end up knowing so
It's
much.
amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Are you frozen again? Is he frozen, you guys?
We're back again.
There we go.
It just keeps good. The internet's not very good to.
Yeah, so who knows what's going on in the world today? You never know. You never know what's going on. You know. What's your favorite thing to come across when you're out there? I'm interested in that. I love I love when intelligent orbs go by. I love when
Come,
strange lights happen, and I love when we see a sea of red sparkles going by.
oh God, yeah. I
Yeah,
know
there.
one night on our way back with about 3 different people, we saw a red light shoot up a tree, and it was like an umbrella coming
Oh,
out at the top, and 4 of us seen it, and one person didn't. So
interesting again.
we all went different objects. Some went to car beyond. Yeah, and
So I missed some of what you
then it
said.
just went out like a switch. It's like a switch.
That's what
Anyway, that was
happens.
about
They're they're there, then they're gone, right? They're there, then they're gone.
half.
You just hope you catch it.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
another thing too is
Yeah, it
if
just
you're
makes you just make,
darn internet, if you are looking this way, imagine what you're missing back this way. So hopefully you catch it.
it's true that as well, because I took a photo of Paul on the birth platform with my camera and never looked at it later. And when I looked at it later, it looked like an alien craft at the back of him, coloured in gold,
Oh,
out at sea, above the sea, an alien craft.
oh, interesting.
And I didn't see it till a look later.
Mm.
I said to Paul, "What's that?" So we pulled it back in, and I'm looking.
There, you know,
Bloody hell,
recently I had a
what?
guy.
How internet
I'm.
tonight? It's terrible.
It is. It is. There, but it
Please
pops back in. We'll let
work.
you
Come on.
edit that together. You get to play around with this one. You can't just throw it up. Um, there's a guy I had on Coast to Coast the other night, Scott Cassell, deep diver, underground, or underwater, very, very deep depths he could go into. He was in the military as well, but he loves the sea, and he goes down and he shot for National Geographic as well. And he was shooting, he got pictures of the giant squid, 54 feet long, 54-foot long, and Humboldt squid, and all these other crazy things. He's a nut, let me tell you, to be in the water like
Yeah.
that. But he told of a story that he was down in an area and he saw a illuminated cube, and he ended up going 400 feet down
See if I can get it.
and following this thing. And he said it was hugely
Get it back on
intelligent.
again.
And
One of them
hopefully-
nights where
Yeah, that's right. It's night where you are. But he was talking about this illuminated cube underwater. So another USO, those things happening. I'd rather be up in the land where I can breathe and see it than down 400 foot when it's around me and, I'm incapable of breathing after a certain amount of time. That would be horrible, but he's a brave man. So hopefully some of you all got to hear that. And thanks you guys for being over there.
let's have another few
Hey,
Ma-
Maxie.
more minutes. Yeah.
What? Oh, did he end it? Did he end the show? I am just going to stay here until I hear otherwise. But I'm going to type, y'all. I'm terrible at it. Oh. There we go. I'll do my little signature. Let's see. Let me find it. Here's what I do as a signature. If you're a blue rocker, I hope you guys will join. Go to ConnieWillis.com. There we go. Boom. I think he ended it. Max is barking. Yeah, he's got something over here. Do y'all still hear me? Do you still see me? I think he ended it. Let's see. Willis giving his tonight. See you then. .com. Boom. You still see me? He has no. Let's see. He's cut me off everywhere. No, it still says it still's got me live. I think he's over there having trouble. But I think he closes it within the hour, so I'll close it out. He might have. Did he say goodbye? Did he say goodbye? Should I just say goodbye? So do a Connie show. Okay, yeah. So let me talk to some Yorkies over there. Connie across the pond over in the UK. What's up? How y'all doing? Blue rocker sign. So tonight I do Willis giving, where we have a dinner. I'm trying to think. I think I have it set up at ConnieWillis.com where you can. Yeah, I think I do. Hope you buy some chocolates so that we can do a really cool research center here in the Colorado Rockies. And I hope you'll just join my show at ConnieWillis.com. Sign up for the newsletter, and then you'll know what's going on. All right, but I gotta kind of prepare even for tonight. I got a bunch of stuff to do before Willis Giving. Thank you, Bob. It was great. He and I took a while for us to pull some a time together, so that's where it came kind of quickly. We didn't really get to promote it as much, but uh, he'll show it on here and we can pass it on. Yes, have a happy Thanksgiving. Love the name, Stargaze Eternal. And you're number one. Was there more? Was there another one that took that name? Don't you hate that? Darn it. So, all right, so you guys all go. I don't want to take over his show. He's poor guy. He's probably over there still working it. He might even think we're talking. I don't know. So thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. Thank all of you all, and we'll see you later. You are unique. I love that. Oh, I love that. Thank goodness we are. I think most of us in here are, right. Thank goodness. But I didn't know if the one was why. Usually, when you have a one, two, or three or something, it's because there's others. So good, good. You're the only one like that.
I'm
Okay,
here.
bye, bye,
Back
everybody.
again.
Oh, you're back. Oh, I just said goodbye to everybody.
Right. I'm back.
Because
It's all right. It's all right.
because
We
we
just
know
come
that
back.
we know that you ended. Hold on. Here's my Yorkie right now. I'm taking care of him. This is my
Oh,
Yorkie poo.
lovely.
So there's the Yorkie I was referring to. See, and he's got one ear up and one not,
Right.
so he's sweet as can be.